it's time to bring in Mike Cozzi. Mike, good morning.
Good morning.
So, anyway, I saw something that you might have seen last night. I don't know if you saw it or not, but I immediately thought of you and I was going to text you or call you, and I didn't. And that was in the Houston. Did you see what happened in the Houston Astros game?
No. I didn't even know it was on.
It was. It was on Major League Baseball Network. You know, they were doing their talkovers and they were looking in on the games. They happened to look into the game. I think it was the fifth or sixth inning, something like that. Verlander was just mowing him down left and right, and he throws a pitch that the ump calls a ball, and it's clearly in the strike zone. Okay.
Oh, there's been some really questionable calls in baseball.
Yeah.
Go on with that, though.
So now, it would have been strike three and ended the inning. The next batter up, pow, hits a double. Verlander turned around and said something to the umpire, right? Mm-hmm. Umpire threw him out instantaneously. Instantaneously.
Yeah, it's out of control.
And they came back on with the guys from the MLB network, and they just were. Like they said, people don't come to the games to see umpires.
Nope.
They came to. Verlander was throwing another one of his classic games. That's what they came to see, and the fact that when a play's in action, okay, when the double was hit, and Verlander did all this, nobody would have noticed because they were all looking at the play. And Verlander just turned around and said something to the umpire. Nobody noticed it but the camera behind home plate.
Well, you know, if you can't criticize an umpire when they blatantly stink, what are you supposed to do? And it's not only happened last night with the Astros game. You could pick any game you want. You could pick any game you want on any given night and watch all 9 innings, and you'll see at least 10 times when there's a call on a pitch where you're going, what was that? Where was that? And it's consistently bad. So Major League Baseball needs to step up and do something here because the playoffs are coming, and if you got somebody like Verlander, who's probably going to be your Cy Young winner, getting tossed for questioning a pitch location, that's not good because it can cost your team a championship. And like you said, people don't pay $200 to sit in the seat and watch an umpire. And the only time you know that an umpire is there is when they're bad. So anytime you speak about an umpire, it's not for something good. You never hear him say, what a great call an umpire made. You always hear, what was that call the umpire made? So when you don't hear about an umpire, they're doing the right thing. And you're hearing more and more about umpires lately, which is terrible.
Yeah, but and another thing they said is, for gosh sake, this is one of the best pitchers in baseball. He's how many years has he been around?
Well, it doesn't matter who it is. Yeah, a strike is a strike. Right. Like you hear the people announcing the game saying, "Oh well, use Verlander for example. Verlander's earned his bones. He gets that call." There's no reason why he should get that call. A strike is a strike. It doesn't matter if it's Verlander or some kid pitching for the first time in the major leagues. That's a lot of baloney. You have a strike zone, you call the strike zone. There's not one strike zone for one pitcher, not for another pitcher. Like you hear them constantly crying about Aaron Judge getting balls called strikes on his knees. The strike zone's from the knees supposedly to the letters. If a ball's on the knees, it's a strike. It doesn't matter if you're 6'8" or 5'8". You have to hit the pitch. But the problem is the consistency of the umpires is clearly not there, and it's not just one or two. It's entirely right through the league, and it's got to change. It's got to stop, and the commissioner better do something about it fast.
All right, and the slugfest continued in yesterday's games. Cleveland 10, Detroit 1.
Well, that Houston-Tampa game, like I built it up yesterday, was supposed to be a strong pitching duel, but
15-1.
Houston took care of that. They beat Charlie Martin up real bad, and if Charlie Martin gets beat up for Tampa Bay, their season is going to be over real quick. Yeah, I'm looking at the review of it, of what Verlander did, and he did nothing nothing extravagant to be tossed. I've done worse than that.
That's exactly what they were saying. They wouldn't say he got special, but being Verlander, he's been in the league long enough. He didn't do it where it showed up the umpire, and it was just plain a stupid move by the umpire.
Well, these kids have thin skin. Let me tell you that. They have thin skin. If they umpired in the days of players, they'd be going home crying. Maybe umpires need that snowflake room. What do they call that? The protection room or something? Maybe they need that. They need a bubble around them so they can't hear things.
I don't know.
Unbelievable. So what are they going to do if a fan gets on them? They're going to clear the stands?
Yeah. It was just a crazy situation.
It's bad. The commissioner better step up and do something about it.
Yeah. So the Mets, they really now this
can't hit.
Yeah.
Mets can't hit. No matter how you want to slice the pie, they can't hit. They got 2 runs yesterday, both coming off home runs. They only got 6 hits. They made Yu Darvish look really good. He went 8 innings, and it only gets worse for the Mets for the rest of the week because Hendricks pitches tonight, and he's a Met killer, and then Lester pitches after that. So the Mets have DeGrom and Syndergaard lining up, but they're going to have to pitch close to a shutout to have a chance to win because the Mets can't score any runs, and the Cubs are a team ahead of them. So now the Mets are falling further behind in the wild card race. So it doesn't look good for the Mets.
All right, and I remember when I predicted long ago that I thought Boston would wind up in second place, not Tampa Bay. Boston's only about 5 games behind them right now.
They got 30 games left. If Tampa Bay play, say they got 30 games left. If Tampa Bay goes 15-15, the Red Sox have to go 20-10 to pick up 5 games.
I think they play each other, though.
The Red Sox haven't gone 20-10 all year.
I think they play each other, though. That's the whole thing. Which you're right. It's probably out of reach. But anyways, Tampa Bay has slid back, and they're probably going to be in danger of maybe losing one of those wild card things.
Oh, they're not. Who? Tampa Bay?
Yeah.
Very easily. Oakland's playing good, and Indians, and even though they got a death blow by losing Ramirez, they're still a good team, so it wouldn't shock me if they don't make it.
Yeah.
Hey, one more thing before we get to the races. Do you remember last week when Acuna got sat down by the Braves for not running out a hit?
Yep.
Well, the Yankees better start doing something with Sanchez. I didn't watch a lot of the game. He had an absolute bomb to center field, over the center fielder's head, one hop to the wall.
Yeah.
With a man on first, he got a single.
Yeah.
How do you hit a ball 410 feet unless you fell down twice? You get a single. Because he was admiring his work coming out of the batter's box. That's why. But Aaron Boone is not that type of manager to do that. But they need to do it because a guy that's supposed to have at least a double on first base in the playoffs, where you need 2 hits to score him instead of one can cost you a game. Sanchez is going back to his lazy ways again, and it's happening real quick.
All right, let's go on to some racing.
Yep, today race of the day. I don't think it's that much rain expected.
No.
5th race up at Saratoga, 1 mile on the inner turf. Big field in here as usual. Going right to the 8 horse, Tula, trained by Graham Motion. This horse has some tactical speed, as shown in his win off his maiden win in Tampa in March. After that, he stumbled and lost the rider at Keeneland. But since then, he ran a 1-turn mile at Churchill Downs, wired the field, running on the poly track at Presque Isle, won a $31,000 allowance race, and then ran another one for a mile and just did not show up that day at 4 to 5. And like I said, these horses aren't machines. So he got a little time off of that race, almost a month, 6 to 1 morning line. Play of the day in the 5th race at Saratoga is the 8 horse Tula.
Tula,
Tula.
All right. Well, we'll check with you tomorrow morning.
Yep, let's see what happens, because Verlander's he's an outspoken guy. He's not going to let this rest.
No, I don't think so.
And he shouldn't.
All right. Take care, Mike.
Have a great day, guys.
Mike Cozzi this morning with sports here on the Breakfast Club on Robin Hood Radio.